What's up, everybody? It's your boy G back with another episode of your Longhorn Daily Blitz. Longhorn fans, it was a tough offseason, huh? Last year certainly didn't end the way that the Longhorns wanted it to. As a lifelong Longhorns fan, we've been earning to see competitive football come back to Austin. And I don't just mean competitive football in terms of like the Big 12, just competitive in the national picture. It seems like every year we get our hopes up, and every year we feel like we have a great recruiting class coming in, and for whatever reason it doesn't seem to work out for us, kind of like it does when we play Alabama here lately. In the last two games we played Alabama, they beat us both times. Unfortunately for us, we also had our starting quarterback knocked out, which was a huge blow. If you look back at the national championship game way back, I don't know, it feels like it was 15 years ago. I know it hadn't been that long, but pretty close, I think. If Colt McCoy is able to stay in that football game, I think the Longhorns had a fantastic chance to maybe hang in there and possibly beat that Alabama football team. And last year, Alabama, came here, and I thought we were ready to go. We were ready to play. Early on, I think we were able to do some really good things. I feel like the defense was playing well, and then the next thing you know, Quinn Ewers gets hurt, and all of a sudden it's a different ball game. And what do you do at that point? But I still think that the Longhorns played very well against this team last year. And typically, if you look at the way that Alabama football team is constructed, I would typically be terrified of this football team. But this year, I'm not really feeling the panic or the nervousness going into the game this week. Last week against Rice, I think we saw about what we would hope to see. They're obviously not going to put anything on tape that they're going to run this week against Alabama, or I certainly hope not. Any coach knows that that's never a great idea, especially, such a monumental game ahead of you. I think the Longhorns, they played well. They were able to put their foot on the gas when they needed to. The defensive line looked absolutely amazing, of course, but we knew that was going to be an area of strength for this Longhorn football team this year, and possibly that defensive line may be what carries this football team, throughout the season. Sweat and Murphy, if you can find two better down linemen in college football, then I'd love to hear your argument, but man, those two guys are going to be tough. And then you look at our secondary, they're improved. They're a little bit older. They've got some more experience coming along. But again, I think that defensive line is going to determine a lot as far as this game against Alabama goes. I'm not really concerned about their quarterback. He played really well last week, but again, kind of like the Longhorns, that's about what you would expect to see. But he's inexperienced, and the Longhorns last year played really well against quarterbacks that could run and throw the football. Thinking back on it now, I can't really think of a time that they really struggled with that dual threat type of player. So I feel like the Longhorns are going to be able to do a good job of being able to keep their quarterback in the pocket. We're probably going to put a spy on him, which I'm all for. Let him beat us with his arm. If he can beat us with his arm against our improved secondary and this defensive front that we're going to send at him, then kudos to him. But I think it's going to be very important that they keep that guy in the pocket and try to keep him from getting out and gaining first downs with his feet. So I think maybe we actually might have the quarterback advantage in this game. I think Quinn really struggled with his deep ball last year. It's entirely possible that injuries to the receiving core and just the inexperience of the receiving core greatly impacted, some of that. But I definitely felt like that was something that Quinn needed to work on during this offseason. And hopefully that's something that they've been able to get addressed. If you look at our receivers, I mean, you got this 6'4", this ginormous, amazing athlete, and of course you have X-Worthy. We have one of the best tight ends in college football. This offense is going to be really tough to stop. Grant, there's no Bijan Robinson last year, and as you all know throughout my videos every week, Bijan, he was my favorite player. I felt like a lot of our success as a football team kind of revolved around that guy, and I definitely thought that he was going to lead our offense, which he did. Even with the quarterback situation looking the way that it was, I thought he was still able to go out there and produce, even when he was banged up. Now, unfortunately, he's going to be with the Atlanta Falcons this year, and we're going to have to find some different answers in the run game, but I'm not at all worried about that. Much like the defensive line, the offensive line got a lot of crucial experience last year. I think that they're going to be able to take that and kind of move forward. We're going to see that Alabama defensive front is absolutely no joke, and it's going to be a test for those guys. We're going to have to be able to establish the line of scrimmage. I think it's going to be very important for us to be balanced. I think maybe Sark may come out and more of a 4 or 5 wide sets or 4 wide receivers with our tight end on the field. Maybe we put him in the slot. We're going to move that guy around. But for me, the main guy on offense that we really need to step up is going to be Worthy. Xavier Worthy had a terrific season last year. I think that guy has all of the intangibles, and he's a real weapon. Frankly, I just don't know how you cover all these guys, which again was a huge issue for this Longhorns football team last year. Unfortunately, we just didn't have a lot of depth at the receiver position, and it ended up costing us, along with the myriad of other injuries that we had to deal with. But it's a new year, Longhorns fan. There's a lot to look forward to. I'm super excited for the game this weekend. I think it's going to tell us a lot about our football team and moving forward. I don't think it's much of a secret that it's going to be a tough row to hoe for the Longhorns this year. It's going to be our last year in the Big 12. We certainly know that we're not going to get any help from the officials this year. And so every game we're going to have to go out there. We're going to have to fight. And they're going to have to earn it. And we'll see if they can get it together. But it all starts this week with Alabama. Typically, I'm Homer G. It's one of my faults. I'm that way with all of my teams. This is our year. And I still feel like the Longhorns have an opportunity to have a really good football team. I think they've got as good a chance as anybody in college football does. But, make no mistake about it. This Alabama football team, they're the real deal. And it's going to Tuscaloosa is a challenge, we can do this. Deep breath, everybody. There's a path to victory here. Hold on to the football. Don't turn the ball over. Spread that ball around. If the defensive front can get some pressure on the quarterback, not let that guy beat us with our legs, I think that the Longhorns have a fantastic opportunity to win. I don't think that that's going to be the case. Maybe if they were playing in Austin or AT&T Stadium, I would be a little more confident in that. But, man, everybody knows it's hard to go win a game in Tuscaloosa. So I appreciate you guys stopping in. I appreciate you taking the time to check out the video. Always feel free to drop down, leave a comment. I appreciate wherever you're listening from. We always appreciate it. Thank you guys for all of your support. It's going to be a fantastic season. I'm super excited. I hope that you're excited. And I look forward to sending you guys more videos coming up very soon. And let's go Longhorns. Hook 'em, baby.